Hello everyone, I am Brittany Broski, and this is the time I catfished a guy into thinking I was British. I shit you not. It's a Tinder horror story, obviously, because what isn't? This was like 2016. I had just downloaded Tinder. It was the summer after my freshman year of college. I had to be like 19. Online dating just scares me in general. Like, it's just really horrible and horrifying. So I felt like it's not safe to like be yourself on a dating app. I matched with this guy and he's like nerdy. He's got like rival Star Wars tattoos. And he's like the resistance, but also the empire is within me. And I'm like sick. So we start talking back and forth. He actually has a personality because a lot of people on Tinder don't have personalities. It's usually like a white guy holding a fish. And then he's like, you want to come over and suck my dick? And then I unmatch. So this guy actually had a personality. We start talking back and forth. And he's like, yeah, I live here. And I'm like, oh, work. I live here too over the summer. We have a lot in common. He's like, well, let me take you out. Okay, well, I have to tell you something before we go out. Oh, what? And I'm like, I've got a British accent. Oh, really? Like you're English? No, not necessarily, like not really. And I made up this whole elaborate backstory. I'm really creative. It's Tinder messages at first. And then of course, give him my phone number. We're going back and forth. I'm telling him this like concocted backstory. We're like, my dad was in the Royal Air Force in here. Like my mum, she's from Texas and they met because she was like on vacation, do you know what I mean? Like in London and they was meeting and it was just love. Every summer I'm in Essex, my nan and my granddad live there. I can tell you the street. I literally made this whole story up. And we go to dinner. I thought I was Tori Kelly because you know Miss Tori Kelly has the curls. And I was like, oh bitch, that's the look. And I would sit there for 2 hours and curl all my hair like a real curly afro. Anyone who let me do that, y'all are so fake. Y'all are so fake for not telling me how bad it looked. I like leave the house and I'm like, yeah, what, like get into character, do you know what I mean? Like, this is me, I'm Brittany. And so I pull up, how you doing, babe? It's nice to meet you. And we go to this really nice French restaurant. We sit down. The whole time I'm acting like I'm so cultured and I'm so this, that, and the other. I was like, oh, in London, they've got like the best French food because like English food's sort of rubbish, isn't it? Like, it's really bad. The escargot, no, you ain't had it. Like, let's try it. It's really good. And it's horrible. And he has too many questions. He's got too many damn questions. I did not prepare this much. But I had committed to the bit, so I can't like stop. We're sitting there and he's like, I just find you so interesting. It's because I don't exist, like this ain't real. But I'm like, yeah, I've lived quite a life. The restaurant closes, like we shut this shit down. And he's like, I'm not done. I've had an excellent time with you tonight. Like, I'm not done. Would you like to go to Starbucks or something? Starbucks? What, really? Starbucks? Do you not have Starbucks in England? I'm like, mate, I live here. Starbucks is just not good, isn't it? Oh, we'll go wherever. So we end up going to some random coffee shop. We start talking about like religion and politics and all this. And I'm like, bitch, I'm tired. Because doing that and trying to have a real conversation, but you're talking like this the whole time, like it's a lot. We finish up the night. I get back home and I'm like, why did I do that? I'm so stupid. Like, it was fun, but oh my God. And I get this long paragraph from him. He's like, I've never met a girl like you before. This date was immaculate. Like, it was unreal. I still smell your perfume on my shirt. But I'm like, psycho. So of course I go on another date with him. We go to like the movies. I had picked like a scary movie that I had seen before, so I knew when the jumps were coming. The whole time I'm like all on his arm and stuff. He's eating this shit up. He's like, I have a real feelings for you. I've never been with a British girl before. And I'm like, mate, you still haven't? Like, this is over a whole summer. It's probably like a couple weeks that I'm seeing this dude. And every time I leave the house, I have to be like, action, bitch. We go on this one date and afterward, he's like, do you wanna like grab something to eat? And then like we can go back to my place. Sure. We pull up to his house. He told me that his dad's traveling a lot. He's not really ever there. It kind of like he's renting his house from his dad, like a bachelor pad. And I'm like, okay, work. Because he's 24 and I was 19. Now that I think about it, that's like, I don't like that. So we go home and his dad's like in the living room and he's like, this is my dad. Like, Dad, this is Brittany. She's from England. And I'm like, oh, that's your dad, what? Like, oh, you're right, babes. I'm like kissing his cheeks and like, yeah, I'm from Essex, you know what I mean? Bitch, I committed. And he's asking me all these questions. He's like, where is Essex? I'm like, oh, it's like East London. He's like, oh, she's like, wow, you really lucked out with her. And we like go upstairs and I'm like, are we really good? Your dad is in the living room. And I was just, man. We go on like 2 more dates. After a couple text messages about how I smell in detail with very good punctuation, I kind of like had to bring him back down to earth. I'm like, I've got to go back to school, do you know what I mean? Like, he was like, when can I see you next? You know, I don't know, brother, like, I don't live here, do you know what I mean? Literally was, I had to go back to college for like school. And he's like, oh yeah, of course. And so we kind of end things. Oh, well, if you're ever back in town, like, please just let me take you out for like a steak dinner. And I'm like, oh, what? I'll hit you up. I never did. See, I kind of started to get creeped out. For a long time after that, I would get paragraphs from him that were like, I miss the smell of your hairspray. Bullshit. And I'm like, stop. I think I like deleted his number. And so I know since the kombucha meme like blew up, girl, you have had to see this. Like, if you're watching this, I know you've seen it, and I am so sorry. It's on my conscience, on my Christian conscience. And I feel so guilty. But it was funny. I had to commit to the bit. It was a really good bit.